I know what I want to be in my next life. I want to be an entrepreneur, so I don't have to wear a tie, so I'm going to take it off. Don't worry, I'm not going to put my jeans on up here, even though I might feel like doing that. It's a little warm in this room. I'll get to the slide in a minute. It's the only one I got. You might have heard this. H.G. Wells, the great science fiction writer, 50 years ago or more, said that education is more and more a race between history and catastrophe. Or that history is more and more a race between education and catastrophe. See, I got that backwards. More and more a race between education and catastrophe. And he said that 50 years ago, or when he died in 1946. So over 60 years ago, he said that. If you look at where we are today and what's driving this, this summit, I think that he was absolutely prescient, because we are looking at the boiling frog catastrophe. The story of the lost manufacturing jobs is cliche. However, as others have said earlier today, you can still make a great living in the trades. You can make a great career and a great living, and I mean from truck driving to high-end HVAC, where those folks live in much nicer houses than most any of us here in this room. The military, although the military is shrinking, of course, higher education, which we're touting in a way, and entrepreneurship. What my big idea is, which would have fit, I think, the last session better than this one, because I'm not here so much to talk about community colleges, in spite of my being there literally the day that NACCE began at Springfield Tech, is the education pipeline and the fact that the entrepreneurship piece is missing from the education pipeline. I would take issue with the issue with K-12, that we're not preparing people for the trades or the military or higher education. We maybe aren't preparing enough for higher education or even the trades, because folks don't want to do it. But we're not preparing our K-12 population for entrepreneurship, and there are so many good resources out there, which we learned about. I learned about just this afternoon. I knew they were there. Junior Achievement, Nifty. I learned about DECA. I didn't know what DECA was before today, and the little green money-making machine. So the curriculum actually exists. We are doing it in a club fashion for a very small number of students who are getting exposed to entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs through that club experience, but that's it. So my big idea is we need to bring back civic education, and a big portion of that needs to be entrepreneurship. Learn about entrepreneurs and many of the great aspects of our history and civics that are built around innovation, like the Civil War in the United States, which of course many have argued was fostered by things like the cotton gin, among other things. Speaking of one of our great American entrepreneurs, and a major civics event or history event that an entrepreneurship lesson could be woven around. So that's my great big idea, is that we need to get entrepreneurship into the core curriculum of K-12. I'm not the first one to mention that here this afternoon. It was mentioned in the previous session. So how do we go about that? Through concurrent enrollments, which community colleges are already involved in, and we're becoming involved in at Broome Community College. And I think as we hear about STEM and people moving through K-12 and through college into STEM careers, CNN's been doing a series all year long on STEM careers, because there are jobs out there. There are jobs in my area today in STEM. That STEM needs to become STEAM. That we need to add another E to STEM. And we need to get that E into the national dialogue and move beyond STEM to STEAM. How we do that? I think we could start by lobbying the very organization in whose building we sit today, and we have the people here today to do that, and others who could join us, and maybe even the White House based on what happened yesterday. So from STEM to STEAM is my big idea, and there's lots of ways we might go about that we've learned about it at this summit in these couple of days, and I want to thank the folks who put this on, and that concludes my presentation from STEM to STEAM.